Meanwhile, India's Operation Ajay to rescue stranded nationals is continuing in full swing. A fifth flight is scheduled to land in New Delhi. As per latest reports, the flight is delayed by 3 to 4 hours. Yesterday, fourth flight carrying 274 passengers returned from war-hit Israel. Let's go straight across to Isha, who's joining us from airport in Delhi. Isha, effort to bring back Indian citizens from Israel is continuing. How many have been brought back so far and how many more people are likely to be evacuated? Fifth flight, in fact, arriving today.
Yes, as you've correctly pointed out, the fifth flight is expected to land today. The expected arrival time is anywhere after 1 p.m. We don't have an official confirmation of the cause of the delay, but yes, there is a delay. This is the fifth flight which is going to land in the national capital today. In fact, 4 flights have already landed, which gives up the tally to about 921 Indians who have been rescued and brought back home successfully. In fact, the fifth flight will be here, but also after the fifth flight, there will be many more flights which have been scheduled, and the rescue operation is in full swing. Operation Ajay is hailed to be one of the most successful rescue operations that India has conducted. In fact, the Ministry of External Affairs has about multiple helpline numbers running, which is active about 24 hours. In fact, one of them has also been set up in the national capital. And we've spoken to passengers arriving from Israel, and they told us about how effective these helplines are and how effective the communication is from the ministry's side. In fact, they credited the Indian government for bringing them back home safely. And this 18,000 Indians are currently stuck in Israel. Even after the fifth flight lands, about 17,000 will still be in Israel. So the number is still high, but Operation Ajay is in full swing, and many more flights are expected to land in the coming days as the situation in Israel heats up after an unprecedented attack by the Hamas on civilian areas in Israel.
Right, Isha. Also, what are many of these evacuated people telling you? Of course, this is a fifth flight. I'm sure you spoke to passengers in the previous flights as well. What are they telling you about what they witnessed? They must have endured quite a bit in the war before they were flown back to India.
Yes, in fact, after the attack, it was a completely unprecedented attack. None of the Indians there had anticipated this. So they were absolutely scared because they were studying in universities. Most of them are research scholars, students. So they weren't really expecting these attacks to haunt them. But they told us about their horrors, and especially about how scared they were, considering that sirens would go off any moment there and they'd have to hide in bunkers. In fact, one of the passengers also told us yesterday that while they were coming to the airport, they had to stop their vehicle and further hide beneath their car, in the car itself. So we heard a lot of tales of horrific attacks by the Hamas on the Indians,
right,
and on several Israelis also there. So they recounted tales of horrors, and in fact, the Indian government was quick to respond.
Right.
And Operation Ajay is one of the first few operations that is flying back Indians back home.
Right, certainly. Thank you, Isha, for bringing all those details. So, fifth flight, evacuation flight scheduled to land in Delhi in just